So we're getting word that Travis Scott might be dropping his new mixtape Dystopia before his new album Utopia comes out, and we've gotten a bunch of hints and clues. So he might have been, hiding this album from us, and it might be releasing in 2021. So we'll be keeping you guys updated with all the latest info in regards to Utopia and Dystopia. So subscribe if you haven't already, and like this video to help us reach more Travis fans. So how are you feeling about this rollout, man?
I kind of like it because it's so mysterious, right? Like, you don't know if this is actually going to drop, but there's kind of hints that are going towards it. And for the most part, I think that I'm just interested in, hearing the mixtape and seeing how it's going to lead into the next album. So talking about where this information is coming from, shout out to Don This Place and On Thin Ice for both giving us word. There are two very reliable sources when it comes to underground information. They've been right on the CLB rollout, they've been right on the Donda rollout, and they've been fantastic on other news. So this might actually happen. Now, listen, the other thing is that he's been teasing this actually since February, if this ends up being true. So if you go to the ID magazine cover and you look at the actual issue, I believe it's in the top left corner, it says Dystopia in Utopia. And then if you actually look again on the cover, it says number 362, the Utopia in Dystopia issue. So how do you feel about that? And do you think he's been teasing this for a while and we just haven't known it so far?
Yeah, I think that he has been planning this all along, and he's kind of been dropping these hints in these magazine interviews and kind of within the covers. And like you were saying, the name of the magazine cover was actually called Dystopia and Utopia, and in that top corner you have the information of the Utopia and Dystopia issue. So it looks like he's been planning this all along, but within that actual magazine cover that came out in February, he didn't actually talk about this being a mixtape, but he did hint at it by using the word but. What's interesting is that if you actually fast forward to August of 2021, he released a script in collaboration with A24, very successful production company for films. And if you look at that script, there's one word for the title. And the word is actually blocked off except for the last two letters, which are IA. So everybody, naturally thought that this was, the title for Utopia because it ended off with the letters IA. But now that I think about it, there's only one reason why he would block it off, and it's because it's not Utopia, because at that point he already had announced the album to be Utopia, so maybe it's for Dystopia, and maybe he'll end up revealing that.
I like that, especially if the visuals come along with it, because another indication that this could come out is Travis has done this before, where he releases projects before a Mecca album. So taking this all the way back to 2014 with DBR. What happens in 2015? You have Rodeo that comes out. Then let's say you go to Birds in the Trap. 2016, that ends up dropping. Let's fast forward to 2018. Then you have Astroworld. So now it's kind of like, is Dystopia going to be that lead up to Utopia?
And he was teasing Astroworld even before Birds in the Trap came out.
He was creating it at the same time as Birds in the Trap. So does this mean that he's going to be going into another realm with another mixtape? I'd like to see it, because to be quite honest with you, I think Travis Scott's mixtape game, or let's say side project game, because, you could call Birds in the Trap a mixtape or, official album, whatever it is, right? It's not considered, on the level of Rodeo or Astroworld, but they have some really timeless material in those projects, and it's always a sort of thing of like, what could you expect with the Mecca? What could you expect with the big one? So let me ask you this. What are you more excited for? Would you rather have Utopia come out without the mixtape, or would you rather have the mixtape then Utopia?
Listen, man,
what scenario?
Now that there's word of this fucking mixtape, I need it, because I know it's going to be the perfect build-up and lead-up to Utopia.
Don't get disappointed, man.
Listen, man, if this concept is actually factual, and there's actually two opposite kind of flip sides of a coin, where you have Dystopia, which we'll get into what that means and what Utopia means a bit later, but if it's kind of these two different societies and he's representing that through the music, through the vibes, for example, because Dystopia could be kind of darker and then Utopia could be happier, more upbeat. So let's actually move on to the September 2021 cover that he did for CR Men magazine. And within that cover, this is actually a direct quote from Travis when he was asked about the new music that he's working on. He said this: "You think Utopia is a society where everything is good, health, buildings, architecture? Nah. It's just about proper lines of communication, because that's the dystopian shit that we're in right now. Right now, maybe the mixtape's going to drop right now.
I don't know if that's too literal, but we'll see what happens.
It's all hate, and all of that is drawn from what? Miscommunication, non-communication, non-understandable communication, ignorance to communication. I don't like this person. Why? Because someone told me something to not like about this person, because in history I read not to like this person. Why? And then Travis also expanded by saying that the utopian state is medicine, nursing, being a better person, talking language, communication, everything that represents a utopian state. That's what the album is going to be about. So taking this into consideration and how he feels like the world is chaotic right now and that people aren't seeing eye to eye, do you think that he can actually pull off this concept? And how do you feel about him developing a saga here? Because this sounds cinematic in the sense that we're getting two parts to one big picture idea.
Absolutely, and I think that it would be a great play for him because the thing I like about Travis Scott's music is that he puts you into a completely different universe that no other artist is able to paint quite like him. And I think that what Astroworld did for me was kind of, bring me through, all, let's say, the high peaks and the low points of his career and, where he was kind of at in his life in 2018. But now to be able to see him maybe form a concept around his thoughts and ideologies, maybe develop his writing a bit more, even the fact that he's getting, back into beat making, like, you see on his IG lives when he was creating beats, he was just posting even snippets and, in his studio with Mike Dean. Like, I think that he's going to take a very personal approach to this type of music because he's done it all before. I mean, Astroworld was a super successful commercial album. I mean, Birds in the Trap did well too. Rodeo was a trap classic to a lot of fans. So now you and I were asking the question at the beginning of the year, where does Travis Scott go? Where is the next lane for him to go? And if he's able to tackle a conceptual lane where he's actually highlighting, very important and spiritual issues in the world right now and being able to, form it into mainstream art, I think that's fucking genius.
And bringing in some fucking some psychedelic rock.
That's what I'm talking about.
If he's going to be experimenting sonically and also conceptually, we're going to probably get one of his best albums to date. And not only that, but I think this could be coming in terms of the release date very soon and within the next few weeks. And that's because Don Toliver is dropping, at the time of this recording, tonight, Life of a Don. And if you take it back to 2018, he dropped Donnie Womack. And I think 2 days later, Astroworld came out. And it's a perfect strategy because if you think about it, right now, Travis's name is buzzing again because he has these two features on Life of a Don. And there's these rumors of this Dystopia mixtape coming out. So it only makes logical sense for him to actually drop this project, then maybe drop the film connected to both projects, and then come in, let's say, early 2022 with Utopia, which everybody is waiting for. So how do you feel that he's going to, deliver, and do you think he's going to live up to all this hype?
Absolutely. If there's one guy that lives up to the hype and even creates more, it's Travis Scott. I mean, this guy is the king of it, and he's able to create such beautiful music and, allows you to dive into his headspace and allows you to dive into his soundscape. Like, I think he's such a talented artist, and his artistry is above, low-key a lot of fucking people in the industry right now, and people don't even realize how good of an artist he is.
No, I think he gets his credit, though,
this is the thing, though, is that I feel as if more people know him for the name Travis Scott, the McDonald's fucking collaborations, or Nike or PlayStation, whatever else comes with it. But if you sit down and you really dissect Travis Scott's music, it's magical. Like, there's a lot of shit in there that's revolutionary to the music industry and that has created so many different lanes for other rappers to pursue. So I think, listen, at the end of the day, even if it doesn't come out, I'm super down to hear, Travis music.
I think it will come out. And what I love about Travis Scott's album is the fact that he builds these universes. I mean, look at Astroworld, the way that he actually had this theme park associated to it and how every song felt like a roller coaster. This Utopia concept is perfectly fitting into that realm of building a new universe because it's displaying this perfect state in society. So that could be pulled off really well. And I mean, look, if Travis actually does this, it's going to be fucking monumental because not many artists can pull off sagas like this. So guys, listen, we'll be keeping you updated with everything Utopia and Dystopia related, so stay tuned for all of that. And by the way, Donda's Place did delete their post about Utopia coming out, and what they had in their post was pretty much just explaining the quote that he had put out in the magazine cover. And On Thin Ice, though, came out and said that it would be coming out, so you can expect it soon, potentially. We'll be keeping you guys updated with everything Travis Scott related. So thank you guys so much for watching till the end, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Thank you for watching the video. It's always a pleasure doing content for you guys. Listen, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel because we're doing album reviews, and we actually have our series called Everything We Know, where we take you guys through the whole album rollout of the hottest releases of the year. Not only that, guys, but our Patreon plan is now live. You guys can access that in the bio. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.